My beloved child, stop what you're doing and listen. Truly listen. For heaven itself leans close to this moment. It's finally happening. What I've waited to tell you all along. The season of silence is breaking. The veil between what was promised and what now unfolds is tearing open before your eyes. Everything you have prayed for, wept over, and nearly surrendered to despair is shifting into reality. This is not another whisper of hope. It is a divine announcement. Time has caught up with prophecy, and I am speaking now because your appointed hour has arrived. Can you feel it? Deep within your chest, that quiet trembling that refuses to fade. It is not anxiety, though it feels like fire beneath your ribs. It is not uncertainty, though your mind cannot name it. That stirring is me. It is the movement of eternity within your spirit, the whisper of heaven awakening what I placed in you before the world began. You have felt this for some time now, haven't you? The sense that something beyond your understanding is drawing near. You have tried to explain it away, tried to busy yourself with life's noise, yet in the still moments, my presence presses gently upon your heart, reminding you that you were made for more than the ordinary. I have been stirring the deep waters of your soul, calling forth what has long been asleep, hope, purpose, and faith. You were never meant to live numb or directionless. You were meant to move with me, in rhythm with the heartbeat of heaven. Before the dawn, the world seems its darkest, but it is in that stillness, when light has not yet broken, that I do my greatest work. You see only shadows, but I am already commanding the morning to rise. The stirring within you is proof that the dawn is near. It is the signal that the waiting is not in vain, that what I have promised is closer than your breath. I have been preparing you quietly, like a seed in the soil that feels the shift of seasons before it ever breaks the surface. You have wondered why you've been restless, why certain things no longer satisfy you, why old desires have begun to fade. It is because your spirit recognizes that a new chapter is beginning, even if your mind has not yet understood it. Listen, beloved, I never awaken a heart without purpose. The longing you feel is not a random make. It is a divine announcement. I am calling you out of what was and into what is coming. The things that once defined you will no longer hold you. The dreams that seemed too distant will begin to draw near. You are on the edge of something sacred, and I am the one orchestrating it all. The world may still be asleep, unaware of what is rising, but you, my chosen one, you can sense it. You feel the breath of new creation pressing against your spirit. Do not resist it. Do not fear it. The stirring you feel is not the end of peace. It is the beginning of purpose. So be still and listen closely. The dawn is about to break, and you are standing in the final moments before it does. What I am about to do will not just change your circumstances. It will awaken who you truly are in me. The night has lingered long enough. The stirring in your spirit is my declaration. It's finally happening. You thought I was gone, didn't you? You prayed, but the heavens felt sealed. You waited, but no answer came. You searched the skies for a sign, yet all you found was silence. But hear me now. My silence was not absence, it was presence in disguise. You did not hear my voice because I was teaching you to recognize my heart. I was closer in those silent seasons than you have ever imagined. Every tear that fell was noticed. Every whispered why reached me. I did not ignore you. I was working, weaving, preparing, forming something that words could not yet explain. Silence is not the void of my attention. It is the fullness of my intention. I was shaping you in the unseen, teaching your spirit to trust me when there were no visible answers to cling to. You see, my child, when I speak, the earth trembles. When I withhold my words, the soul learns to listen differently. I allowed the quiet so you could learn that my love is not proven by constant noise, but by unchanging presence. While you felt abandoned, I was standing right beside you, rearranging what you could not yet perceive. You mistook delay for distance, but I was never distant. I was guarding you from paths that would have broken you, closing doors that would have led to disappointment, and waiting for the perfect alignment of time and purpose. I have never been still out of indifference. I have been still out of strategy. What looks like inactivity in your eyes is the careful choreography of eternity in mine. The silence was sacred, not cruel. It was the furnace in which your faith was refined. You learned how to lean into me without hearing me, how to love me without feeling me, how to trust me without seeing what was ahead. And now that silence is lifting, not because I was gone, but because the lesson is complete. I withheld my voice for a time so that when I speak now, you will know it is truly me. The silence did not mean I forgot you. It means I was preparing you to recognize the rhythm of my whisper again. You are stepping into a season where the quiet will make sense, where you will look back and see how I was speaking through every still moment, through every unanswered prayer, through every delay. I was there, holding you through the quiet, waiting for this very moment when the silence breaks and revelation begins. You called it waiting, I called it timing. You saw delay, I saw preparation. What felt like endless pause was actually perfect orchestration. I never let time slip without purpose. Each day that stretched into another was part of a divine rhythm you could not yet hear. You thought the waiting meant you were forgotten, but I was arranging every thread of your destiny with precision. Do you remember when you begged me to open a door that never moved? You saw failure, but I saw protection. You were asking me to rush something that would have broken you if it came too soon. You could not see it then, but my timing has never been punishment. It has always been preservation. You measure life by minutes and years, but I measure it by readiness. You prayed for what your heart desired, and I listened, but I also saw what your heart could handle. I saw the immaturity that needed to mature, the wounds that needed healing, the strength that needed to grow before the promise could rest upon you. If I had given you what you wanted when you first asked, it would have crushed you beneath its weight. So I slowed the clock, not to torture you, but to strengthen you. My timing is the womb of your destiny. It nurtures what will one day be born whole. You are not behind. You are right on schedule with heaven's design. When you thought I was silent, I was aligning people, places, and opportunities. I was preparing others and I was preparing you. You see only your waiting, but I see the interconnected web of countless lives woven together for one divine moment. That moment is near. The appointed time is approaching. Every disappointment, every detour, every not yet has been my way of saying, wait, because I am crafting something greater. I am the author of time, and when I say it's time, everything will shift at once. You will look back and see why the delay was mercy disguised as stillness. I never waste time, I redeem it. Every moment of waiting will now bear fruit, and you will know that I was never late. I was perfect. You have watched the hands of your life's clock with weary eyes, haven't you? You've whispered, Lord, how much longer? As though time itself mocked your hope. But listen closely. Heaven's clock never misses a beat. Not one moment has slipped past me unnoticed. You count seconds and days. I count purpose and completion. My timing is not ruled by calendars or deadlines. It is ruled by destiny. What you call delay, I call synchronization. When I move, I do not move early or late. I move precisely when the world, the heart, and eternity align. The ticking you hear is not time running out. It is my rhythm, keeping perfect harmony with your becoming. You have felt as though the promises were slipping away, as if time had robbed you. But time cannot steal what I have ordained. You fear being too late, too old, too far gone. But I am the one who redeems time itself. I can breathe new life into what you thought was lost. When I speak now, everything that has been waiting bursts forth. I have not forgotten the promises whispered in your youth. My plans did not expire with your seasons. The delays were not denials. They were divine intervals where I was perfecting every detail. The orchestra of your destiny has many instruments, and each must be tuned before the music begins. The pause you've endured with the tuning. The music begins now. So trust me. I am never in a hurry, yet I am never late. I see beyond your limited perspective. You are stepping into the exact moment I have prepared for you since before creation's dawn. Heaven's timing is not slow, it is precise. When you look back, you will see that every second of waiting, every heartbeat of longing, every unanswered prayer was right on rhythm. I have always been on time, and now, so are you. The clock of heaven strikes not with human noise, but with divine certainty. And right now, beloved, it is striking your hour. You have walked through a long season of being hidden, haven't you? A season where your prayers seemed to echo back in silence, where your efforts bore little fruit, and where it felt as if the world passed you by. You looked at others moving forward, doors opening for them, and you wondered, when will it be my turn? But hear me now. The season of concealment is ending. I hid you not to punish you, but to protect you. I kept you in the shadows not because you were unworthy of light, but because I was perfecting you in the dark. Just as a seed cannot grow in the open air until its roots are deep enough to sustain its life, you too needed the hidden place. I have been forming something within you that the spotlight could have destroyed too soon. You mistook my concealment for rejection, but it was divine incubation. You were not forgotten. You were being prepared for the unveiling that is now at hand. All this time, I have been guarding your potential from premature exposure. What I have placed within you needed time to mature in silence, away from the voices that would have doubted, drained, or distorted it. I have refined your motives, deepened your dependence on me, and taught you to hear my voice above all others. You learned to find peace without applause, to serve without recognition, and to trust me when no one else could see your calling. And now, because your foundation hath been built in private, it will not crumble in public. The doors that remained shut before will now open by my hand, not because you demanded them, but because you are ready. This is the hour of unveiling, the time I bring forth what I have been cultivating in secret. What was hidden will now shine, not to glorify you, but to magnify me through you. The season of concealment is ending, and what emerges from this moment will bear the mark of heaven's touch. Can you feel the shift within you, the subtle sense that everything is beginning to make sense? For so long, you questioned the why behind your pain, the what behind your waiting, the when behind your wandering. You saw only fragments, moments that seemed random or cruel. But now, I am pulling back the veil, revealing the pattern behind what once looked like chaos. Every season of loss, every unanswered prayer, every delay was part of a divine architecture. You thought you were moving in circles, but you were being positioned. Nothing was wasted, nothing. Even the mistakes you thought disqualified you, I have woven into the fabric of your calling. You could not see it then, but I have been orchestrating purpose through every detail of your journey. I have been shaping you into a vessel strong enough to carry what I am about to pour out. The very things that made you question me were the tools I used to prepare you. You have been asking me for clarity, and I say to you now, it is coming. The fog will lift. The questions will find their answers. What once seemed meaningless will now reveal its meaning. and you will stand in awe of my design. You will understand that what felt like rejection was actually redirection. What looked like delay was protection. You will see that I never took anything from you that wasn't making room for something greater. You are stepping into a season where the mystery becomes revelation, where purpose unfolds like dawn after a long night. Do not fear what you cannot yet fully see. Each step you take now will confirm what I've been whispering all along. You were made for this. The unveiling has begun, and soon you will understand why you had to walk the road you did. You have felt the pressure, haven't you? The stretching, the breaking, the sense that something inside you is both ending and beginning all at once. It has been uncomfortable, even painful at times, but hear me. This breaking is not your destruction. It is your birth. Just as a seed must crack open for life to emerge, so too must you break free from the shell of what was to step into what is. I know it hurts. Growth always does. You have outgrown the patterns, the people, the places that once defined you, and though the breaking feels like loss, it is actually liberation. You prayed for transformation, and this is how it comes, not through comfort, but through surrender. You cannot carry yesterday into tomorrow. The old identity, the old fears, the old limitations, they cannot contain the new life I am bringing forth in you. The breaking is evidence that I am near. It is proof that your spirit is awakening, that you are no longer content to stay small when I have called you higher. I am peeling away the layers that kept you bound, not to expose you to pain, but to reveal the strength I have built within you. You see, the shell served its purpose. It protected you when you were fragile, but now it confines you. The breaking is not cruelty. It is the moment when confinement gives way to creation. Do not resist it. Do not fight the process. Let me finish what I began. For when the breaking is complete, what emerges will no longer resemble what was hidden. You will look back and realize that every crack, every pressure, every tear was the sound of destiny opening. This is your moment of becoming. The breaking of the old shell is the birth of the new you, the one I dreamed into existence before time began. Do you feel that gentle stirring again? The same one that once lived in your heart before life's disappointments silenced it. That is me awakening what has slept too long within you. I am breathing life back into the dreams you buried beneath fear, rejection, and fatigue. Those dreams were never dead, only dormant, waiting for the breath of my timing. You told yourself it was too late, that the chance had passed, that you were foolish to still hope. But I say to you now, rise. The dreams I placed in you were not random wishes. They were divine seeds of destiny. I have watched over them through the long winters of your life, and now I am calling them to waken. What once felt forgotten will begin to quicken in your spirit. You will sense new energy where there was once apathy, new inspiration where there was once silence. The dreams are waking because it is their time, and yours too. I never plant without purpose. Every dream I've placed in your heart carries a piece of my eternal design. You buried some of them when pain convinced you they were impossible. You let others fall asleep under the weight of disappointment. But I am the God who resurrects what man calls finished. The very things you thought were over are the very things I am reviving. I have been waiting for your surrender, not your striving. When you stopped trying to make it happen on your own, you made room for me to breathe on it again. Now watch as I reconnect the broken pieces of your vision and give them life. You will see how every delay, every detour, every heartbreak has shaped the dream, refining it until it mirrors my heart. Do not fear the size of what I am reviving. What feels too great for you is just right for me. I am awakening the impossible so that through you, others will know that I am still the God of miracles. So stand tall again, dream again, believe again, for the slumber is ending, and what I have placed in you is stirring back to life with the fire of divine purpose. For years, my voice has come to you as a whisper, soft, intimate, almost hidden. You have carried the secret of my promises deep in your heart, afraid to speak them aloud for fear that others wouldn't understand. But now, the time of whispers is ending. The word I gave you in private is about to become a public declaration. What I once spoke in secret chambers will now echo across open places. The visions you held quietly, the prayers you whispered through tears, the prophecies that seemed impossible, these will no longer remain hidden truths. I am moving them into the light, transforming what was whispered in the dark into a proclamation that will shake the atmosphere around you. You will no longer just believe my promise, you will walk in it. What was once a quiet faith within you will soon become a visible testimony for others to see. I have tested your heart in the quiet because public revelation requires private surrender. You had to learn the value of my voice before I could amplify it through your life. You have proven faithful in the silence, and now I will make my words through you resound like thunder. This is not about elevation, it is about revelation. When I bring your hidden obedience into visibility, it will not exalt you, it will exalt me through you. The whisper was meant to root you in intimacy. The declaration will reveal the fruit of that intimacy. The world will begin to see what I have long spoken over you. The words that once sustained you in private will now sustain others in public. So speak boldly when I tell you to speak. Step forward when I tell you to step forward. The season of quiet believing is transforming into a season of bold revealing. You will no longer wonder if you heard me correctly. You will see with your own eyes that every word I whispered was true, for I am faithful to fulfill what I have spoken. The waiting is over. The stillness that once surrounded your life is shifting into movement. You have sat at the edge of promise for so long, watching, hoping, and wondering when I would say, "Go." That moment has come. You are stepping out of the wilderness of waiting and into the path of walking. The season of preparation has reached its divine conclusion. Now comes the unfolding. You once asked me, "When will it happen?" And I answered, "When you're ready." Beloved, you are ready. You may not feel ready, but readiness in my kingdom is not about perfection. It's about trust. Every lesson learned in the waiting was meant to equip you for this step. You are no longer standing still because the ground beneath you has shifted. The promise is moving, and you are moving with it. Now, your faith must translate into motion. The things I've been whispering into your heart are no longer just revelations. They are instructions. What you prayed for in faith, you must now walk out in obedience. I will guide your steps, but you must take them. Fear will try to tell you to stay comfortable, but comfort was never your calling. You were not created to wait forever. You were created to walk by faith, step by step, into the fulfillment of my plan. Do not look back at the waiting with sorrow. It was sacred preparation. Every delay built endurance. Every disappointment built discernment. Now, as you move forward, you will find that the path unfolds with divine precision. Doors will open effortlessly, not because of striving, but because of timing. I am walking with you, leading you into promises that once seemed distant. The waiting has shaped your character. The walking will reveal your purpose. So lift your head, steady your heart, and step into what I have already prepared. The stillness has served its purpose. Now, it is time to move. You have cried over what was lost, haven't you? You've looked at the ruins of what once was. Relationships that crumbled, opportunities that slipped through your hands, seasons that seemed wasted, and you've wondered if any of it could ever live again. But hear me. I am the God who restores not partially but completely. What was broken will not just be repaired, it will be made new. I have not forgotten what was taken from you, nor have I ignored the pain that followed. I have stored every tear in my keeping, and now the time of restoration begins. What the enemy meant for harm, I have already turned toward good. You have been through a long season of loss so that you could recognize the value of what I am about to return. Nothing will come back the same. It will come back better, stronger, and anchored in my purpose. You will see that the things you thought were gone forever were only being refined for this moment of unveiling. When I restore, I do not simply give back what was lost. I multiply it. The years that seemed stolen are not wasted. They are being redeemed. Every disappointment is becoming a doorway to greater blessing. You will look around and realize that I have been rebuilding your life in layers, quietly, steadily, piece by piece. The foundations that were shaken are now being strengthened. The relationships that were broken beyond repair are being replaced or renewed with divine precision. I am restoring your confidence, your joy, your voice, your vision. You will stand in places where you once fell and see that the scars have become testimonies of my faithfulness. Do not dwell on what was destroyed. Fix your eyes on what I am reconstructing. You will see my hand turning emptiness into abundance, loss into legacy. The story of your life will no longer be one of pain but of restoration, living proof that nothing surrendered to me ever truly dies. Can you sense it? The strange, almost electric feeling that everything is beginning to connect. What once felt scattered and meaningless is now being drawn together by unseen hands, my hands. You've lived through fragments, moments of confusion, seasons that didn't seem to belong to one another. But I tell you now, the fragments are forming a pattern. Every piece of your journey, even the broken ones, are converging into something magnificent. You thought your story was disjointed, but it was being carefully woven into a tapestry only I could see. The people who left, the doors that closed, the opportunities that seemed random, all of it was working toward a divine alignment that is now unfolding. You are entering a season where everything will begin to make sense, where the puzzle pieces that once mocked you with their mystery will suddenly fit together. I have been orchestrating divine intersections, moments where the separate paths of your life collide with my plan. Nothing has been wasted. The pain, the victories, the waiting, the learning, they were all chapters leading to this convergence. You will find that the things you once thought were delays were actually setups, preparing you to step into places of influence and purpose that you could not have handled before. I am drawing together relationships, resources, revelations, and opportunities all at once. The momentum you will feel is not random. It is my timing colliding with your obedience. Everything I have spoken over your life is beginning to merge into a single rhythm, a divine harmony that resounds with destiny. You will no longer walk in pieces, but in wholeness. The scattered storylines are ending, and the narrative of fulfillment is beginning. All things are converging because all things are working together for your good, and the masterpiece I began in you is about to be revealed in full. The weight of yesterday has been heavy on you, hasn't it? The mistakes, the guilt, the what-ifs, they've followed you like shadows that refuse to fade. But I tell you now, those chains are breaking. The past no longer holds authority over your future. I am cutting the ties that have kept you bound to regret. Every lie that told you it's too late or you've gone too far is being silenced by my truth. You are free. I have already dealt with what you cannot undo. A shame that clings to your memories does not come from me. I do not remind you of your failures. I redeem them. You have replayed old scenes in your mind long enough. It's time to release them. You cannot reach for what is ahead if your hands still clutch what has died behind you. Let it go, my child. The door to your past is closing, and I am opening one that leads to freedom. I am not asking you to forget, but to forgive yourself and others. The wounds that once defined you will no longer dictate your steps. I am rewriting your story so that what once brought you pain will now carry power. The habits that held you hostage are losing their grip because my spirit within you is stronger than any chain around you. The voices of condemnation will fall silent as you learn to hear only my voice, gentle, firm, unwavering in love. You are not who you used to be. That person no longer exists. You are being remade in light and truth. The scars remain, but they no longer bleed. They tell a different story now. A story of redemption, of victory, of grace greater than failure. So lift your head. The chains of yesterday are broken, and you are walking into tomorrow unbound, unburdened, and completely free. You have fought battles that no one saw, wars that raged within your heart while your face carried calm for the world to see. You've wrestled with doubt in the quiet hours, questioned your strength, and wondered if I even noticed your struggle. But hear me now. I have seen every battle, even the ones you never spoke of. I have watched you fight through the storms, and I have fought alongside you. There were nights you thought you were losing, yet I was surrounding you with legions of unseen help. There were attacks meant to destroy you that never reached you because I intercepted them in silence. The victory was not visible then, but I was already turning the tide in your favor. You thought the enemy had the upper hand, but every move he made became part of my greater plan. You stood your ground even when you felt weak, and that endurance has become your crown. Now comes the great reversal. What was working against you is now working for you. The very forces that sought to drain you are about to witness your rise. I have taken every hidden battle and written it into your testimony. You will soon see the evidence of my unseen victories manifest in visible ways. Relationships restored, doors opened, peace returned, strength renewed. Every scar you carry will shine with purpose, for it tells the story of battles fought and won under my hand. I am turning the pain into power, the struggle into strength, and the warfare into wisdom. You will no longer fear the night seasons, for you have seen that I am the Lord of the unseen. The darkness that once intimidated you will now fear the light you carry. I have gone before you, cleared the path, and declared that no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. The reversal has already begun. What once oppressed you will now serve you, and every unseen battle has become the seed of your visible victory. Do you remember that moment when you first heard me whisper your name? It was not the sound of thunder or the force of wind. It was a still, small voice that stirred something deep within you. That same voice is calling you again. You've wandered through seasons that made you doubt if you ever heard me right, but I have never stopped speaking your name. My call has not changed, even if the circumstances around you have. The voice that called you from darkness into light still echoes through your spirit. You have matured, endured, grown, and shifted, but my purpose for you remains unshaken. You may have taken detours, faced distractions, and fought through disappointment, yet the call still stands. You are still the one I chose, still the one I've anointed, still the one I've been shaping for this moment. The same voice that said, "Come, follow me," is saying it again, only this time it carries greater weight, greater authority, and greater clarity. You have outgrown the season where fear silenced your faith. You now know what it means to trust me when the way is unclear. And so, I call you again, not to relive the past, but to step boldly into what I've been preparing all along. I am not calling you to who you were, I am calling you to who you are. The world may have changed around you, but my voice is constant, unwavering, eternal. When I speak, creation responds, and you, my beloved, were made to respond too. There is a fresh anointing in my call, a new strength that flows with it. You will hear me in ways you never have before, not just through words, but through peace, through open doors, through divine alignment. So listen again. Let my voice cut through the noise of the world, the whispers of doubt, the echoes of regret. My voice is calling you forward, just as it did then, but now it calls you into fullness, into destiny, into the completion of what I began in you long ago. You have spent years trying to understand yourself through the eyes of others, measuring your worth by approval, your success by comparison, your purpose by performance. But those lenses were never meant to define you. I'm removing them now so you can finally see yourself through my eyes. You are not what others have called you. You are not your mistakes, your failures, or your past. You are who I say you are, chosen, set apart, beloved, and equipped. I formed you with intention before the foundation of the world. Every feature, every gift, every desire within you was carefully designed to fulfill my divine plan. You have looked for identity in the opinions of people, but identity cannot be found in the shifting shadows of human approval. It can only be found in me. And now, I am unveiling the truth of who you are, layer by layer, revealing the masterpiece that hath been hidden beneath years of self-doubt and fear. The world tried to label you by your pain, but I have named you by your purpose. The voice of insecurity that told you you're not enough was never mine. I call you complete, whole, and radiant with destiny. You were not created to blend in. You were created to reflect my light. Every weakness you've despised, I am transforming into strength. Every flaw you've hidden, I am using as a vessel of grace. You are not behind, not broken, not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be for this unveiling. The revelation of who you are will not come through striving, but through surrender. The more you yield to my presence, the clearer your reflection becomes. When you look at yourself, do not see what the world has told you to see. See the image of the one who created you. You are my likeness in motion, my glory made visible. And when you finally believe this truth, you will walk with a confidence that no circumstance can shake, for you will know beyond question who you truly are, not just a follower, not just a servant, but my beloved, my image bearer, my vessel of divine purpose on the earth. There is a strength rising in you that you cannot quite explain. It is quiet but fierce, humble yet unshakable. That strength is not pride. It is divine authority awakening within you. For too long, you have prayed as though you were distant from my power, as though you had to beg me to move. But hear me now. I have already placed my authority inside you. You carry the same power that raised my son from the dead, the same power that commands storms to cease and mountains to move. You have mistaken meekness for weakness, yet true meekness is strength under control. The enemy fears not your voice alone, but the authority behind it, the authority of the one who dwells in you. I am awakening that awareness within your spirit, so you will no longer bow to fear or circumstance, but rise and speak as one who knows their position in me. You are not a spectator in this battle, you are a warrior who carries my word as a weapon. When you pray now, speak not as one asking for permission, but as one enforcing what has already been promised. You have my name, my spirit, my word. What more is needed? The authority I've given you is not earned. It is inherited. You have spent years feeling powerless, waiting for something external to change, yet the shift begins within you. When you realize who you are and whose power flows through you, nothing on earth or in hell can stand against you. You will command peace in chaos, and it will obey. You will declare healing over brokenness, and it will come. You will stand before obstacles that once intimidated you, and see them crumble before your confidence in me. The time of trembling prayers is over. The time of declarations has come. You are my representative, my voice, my hands, my authority on the earth. Walk in that truth, and you will see heaven invade every place your faith touches. The distance you once felt between heaven and your daily life was never real. It was only the illusion of separation created by fear and doubt. I have never been far from you. Heaven has always been closer than your breath. But now, something sacred is happening. Heaven and earth are meeting within you. The spiritual and the natural are no longer separate worlds, but converging realms through which my purpose flows. Every moment, every decision, every breath you take becomes a bridge between eternity and the temporary. I am teaching you to live aware of this connection, to see the sacred in the ordinary, to hear the eternal in the everyday. You are not merely surviving in this world. You are carrying heaven wherever you go. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts because my presence moves with you. The reunion between heaven and earth is not happening in some far-off future. It is happening now, in you, through you, around you. I am restoring what was lost in Eden, the unbroken fellowship between Creator and creation. You will no longer pray for heaven to come down as though it were distant. You will realize that heaven is already within you. I am awakening your awareness so that every act of love, every word of truth, every gesture of grace becomes a divine exchange between realms. You are my meeting place, the intersection where glory touches humanity. When you speak peace, heaven answers. When you forgive, heaven moves. When you worship, heaven expands within you. You will begin to see signs, wonders, and divine synchronicities because the line between heaven and earth is dissolving. You are part of this reunion, a living altar upon which my spirit dwells. The separation is gone, the veil is torn. You are walking in the reality of what others have only imagined, a life where heaven's rhythm and earth's heartbeat move as one. The darkness that surrounded you was never meant to last forever. It served its purpose, to dip in your roots, to test your resolve, to prepare your spirit for light. But now, the time of shadows has ended. I am commanding my light to break forth from within you, brighter and stronger than before. You have mistaken darkness for defeat, but it was only the backdrop against which my glory would shine most brilliantly. The light I am awakening in you is not fragile. It is fierce, eternal, unstoppable. You will find that the very places the enemy tried to bury you have become the soil from which your light now rises. You are no longer defined by the darkness you've endured, but by the light you now carry. This light is not borrowed. It is born from your communion with me. You will notice it first within. Peace where there was chaos, joy where there was weariness, clarity where confusion once reigned. Then it will begin to radiate outward, touching everything and everyone around you. Darkness cannot comprehend or overcome it. It must flee. The light within you will expose lies, dismantle fear, and draw others toward hope. You will walk into places heavy with despair, and my light through you will lift the atmosphere without a word. That is the power of divine illumination, effortless transformation through presence. Do not hide it, do not dim it, and do not doubt it. The world is desperate for what you now carry. This is not just your light, it is mine, shining through every crack, every scar, every story you carry. The breaking forth of light marks a new era of vision. You will see clearly where to step, what to say, and who to reach. The darkness that once intimidated you now becomes the canvas upon which my glory will display itself. Walk boldly, for your light has come, and my glory rises upon you. Do you feel it? The pull within your spirit, the sacred reminder of something ancient and unbroken. That is the sound of covenant being renewed. You have walked through seasons where you questioned my promises, where you wondered if I had changed my mind about you. But I tell you, my word has never shifted, and my covenant with you has never weakened. What I spoke over your life still stands. I do not make promises lightly. nor do I forget them when time stretches long. The moments you thought I was silent were the moments I was reinforcing the very foundation of my faithfulness beneath your feet. This renewal is not me making a new promise. It is me awakening you to remember the one that has always been there. I have not abandoned what I began in you. I am reigniting it with fire. When I make a covenant, I seal it with my nature, not your performance. You feared that your failures had voided what I said, but my covenant is not built upon your perfection. It rests upon my unchanging love. I am binding my word to you again, not because it ever broke, but because I want you to walk in fresh awareness of it. You will feel the shift in your spirit as confidence replaces uncertainty. You will no longer pray from the place of if you will, but from because you promised. My covenant covers every aspect of your life, your calling, your family, your provision, your future. I am reaffirming it before you now, wrapping you in the assurance that you belong to me, fully and eternally. As I renew this bond, you will see signs of restoration breaking out all around you. Things long dead will live again, and places once dry will flourish with new life. My covenant is your covering. It is your inheritance. It is the reason you will stand firm when others fall. Nothing, neither time, trial, nor failure, can cancel what I have sealed. The renewal has begun, and from this day forward, you will walk not as one uncertain, but as one who knows that every promise I made still breathes, still moves, still stands. There are places within you that you've never spoken of, aren't there? Quiet wounds you've learned to live around, smiles that hide the ache, strength that covers the scar. But I see them all. I have seen the nights when you held your chest and whispered, "I'm fine," even as your heart broke. I have watched you press forward while secretly bleeding within. But beloved, this is the moment I touch what time could not heal. I am not coming to expose your pain. I am coming to close it. The wounds buried the deepest are the ones I am healing first. You no longer have to pretend you are whole. I am making you whole indeed. The healing I bring does not begin from the outside in. It begins deep within your spirit, where the root of pain has wrapped itself around your identity. I am cutting it away gently, so that you will no longer confuse pain with purpose or endurance with peace. You thought I overlooked the betrayal, the abandonment, the heartbreak, but I was there through it all, gathering every tear and promising myself that I would turn even this into beauty. You tried to move on, but the echoes of those old wounds followed you into new seasons. Today I silence them. My presence is pressing into every memory that still stings, every word that still echoes, every disappointment that still whispers you were not enough. I am rewriting the language of your heart. Where there was shame, there will be glory. Where there was rejection, there will be belonging. Where there was trauma, there will be triumph. I do not heal halfway. I restore completely. I will not only mend what was broken, I will make it so strong that nothing will ever break you there again. The healing of your hidden wounds will not just bring you relief. It will bring you revelation. You will begin to see that the pain that once defined you was the very soil from which compassion and power would grow. You are stepping into a new freedom, where the past no longer dictates the present, and the scars once hidden become the crown of your testimony. You have felt alone in your pursuit of truth, haven't you? You've looked around and wondered, where are the others who still burn for what is real? But I tell you, you are not alone. Across the earth, hearts like yours are awakening, hearts that refuse compromise, that long for purity, that ache for my presence more than for platform or praise. This is the hour of the faithful remnant. You are part of a generation not defined by number but by depth, not by noise but by fire. I have been refining many in hidden places, just as I refined you. and now I am bringing you together. The isolated embers are joining to form a blazing flame that will not be extinguished. You will begin to recognize them, not by title or fame, but by the unmistakable mark of my spirit upon them. Together, you will carry the sound of awakening across nations. Do not despise the years you felt unseen, for they prepared you for this gathering. I needed hearts that would not bow to culture's idols or be swayed by the approval of men. I was testing your loyalty, not to see if you could perform, but to see if you would remain faithful when the crowd grew silent. And you did. You held fast to what was right, even when it cost you. And now, the faithful are rising, not in arrogance, but in alignment with my will. This remnant will carry purity where compromise once ruled, and light where apathy took root. You are part of a divine movement, one that will not fade with emotion but endure through obedience. Stand firm, and do not be afraid when I call you to stand apart. You are not being separated for punishment, but for purpose. My fire in you will draw others, and my truth through you will awaken nations. You are part of something eternal, something ancient yet new, the rising of those who refuse to bow to darkness. You are not the last spark. You are the first flame of what is coming. There is something fresh stirring in the atmosphere around you, a fragrance unfamiliar yet holy, a heaviness that feels like promise resting on your shoulders. That is the new oil I am pouring out upon you. The oil that carried you in past seasons was enough for survival, but what I am giving you now is meant for victory. The old anointing sustained you through the desert, but the new oil will empower you for the harvest. You have felt tired, even spiritually dry at times, wondering if your fire was fading. But I tell you now, it was not fading, it was being refined. The dryness prepared the soil for saturation. You cannot pour new oil into an old vessel, and that is why I have been reshaping you through every test, every trial, every surrender. You thought I was emptying you, but I was making room for what is now being released. This oil carries clarity, courage, and creativity beyond anything you've known before. It is not just for you. It is through you. For those I will reach by your obedience. This oil will renew your strength. Where weariness once ruled, vitality will return. Where confusion clouded your mind, revelation will now flow like rivers. You will find yourself speaking with power you did not plan, praying with authority you did not practice, creating with inspiration that feels otherworldly. Do not resist it when it comes. It will come suddenly, unexpectedly, in quiet moments and in divine encounters. It is pure because it comes from pressing, and you have been pressed indeed. The crying was not punishment, it was preparation. Out of pressure flows power, and you are about to move in an anointing forged through intimacy, not ambition. Guard this oil carefully. It cannot mix with bitterness, pride, or comparison. It flows only in humility and surrender. The world will sense something different about you, not a title, not a position, but the unmistakable fragrance of one who hath been with me. This is your fresh oil for a new era, an anointing that will not run dry because it is drawn from my endless supply. You have noticed the shifting, haven't you? People entering, people leaving, connections changing like the tides. Do not be alarmed. This is divine alignment. I am repositioning relationships in your life according to purpose, not comfort. Some who once walked closely with you cannot journey where I am taking you, and that is not rejection. It is refinement. Others you never expected will appear, carrying keys to doors you could not open alone. I am bringing into alignment every relationship that is part of your next chapter. This is not random movement. It is orchestration. The pruning you feel is part of your preparation. I remove only what hinders growth. You prayed for discernment, and this is my answer, I am revealing who is for you, who is with you, and who is sent by me. No longer will you waste emotional energy trying to hold together what I have already released. Let go with peace. For every departure, I am arranging divine arrivals that will strengthen, sharpen, and sustain you in the days ahead. I am surrounding you with kingdom connections, those whose hearts are tuned to the same frequency of faith, whose motives are pure, whose presence will elevate, not drain, your spirit. This alignment will bring balance and protection. You will no longer walk among voices that feed fear or doubt, but among those who speak destiny and light. The friendships I bring will carry weight, not of familiarity, but of anointing. Do not cling to what feels familiar when I call you into something deeper. The shaking of relationships is not loss, it is calibration. Every person connected to your destiny will find their place, and every counterfeit connection will fall away. You will see clearly who was meant for a season and who was meant for a lifetime. Trust my hand in this. I am not taking people away to leave you empty. I am clearing the path so the right ones can stand beside you. You will walk surrounded by those who carry my heart, and together you will accomplish what none of you could alone. Have you noticed how the air seems to change when you enter a room? That is not coincidence. It is spiritual authority awakening within you. Wherever you go, my presence moves with you, altering the atmosphere, stirring peace in chaos, and breaking heaviness with light. You once thought you were merely adapting to your surroundings, but now the opposite is true. Your surroundings will adapt to you. I have placed within you a presence that cannot be ignored because it carries my spirit. You are not a thermometer, measuring what exists. You are a thermostat, setting the spiritual temperature of every place your feet tread. I am teaching you to discern the atmosphere, not to fear it, but to transform it. When you walk into tension, peace will settle. When you walk into confusion, order will come. When darkness rises, your light will confront and dispel it. You will no longer shrink to fit environments that resist my glory. Instead, you will command them to shift. This authority comes not from volume but from alignment. When you stay close to me, everything around you begins to reflect that closeness. You will find that even your silence carries power. Your presence will speak where words cannot. Demonic oppression will lose its grip, hearts will soften, and joy will break out simply because I walk with you. You will feel me prompting you in moments that seem ordinary. A word here, a prayer there, a glance of compassion that changes someone's day. That is how atmospheres shift, not always with spectacle, but with spiritual sensitivity. You will begin to sense when peace leaves a room and when my spirit fills it. Do not fear the weight that comes with this awareness. It is not a burden, but a gift. You have been entrusted to carry my presence as a living temple. Wherever you go, from home to workplace, from solitude to crowd, know this: you bring heaven's climate with you. The atmosphere will bow to the presence you carry, because it bows to the one who lives within you. Can you hear it? It is faint at first, like the soft hum of dawn before the sun breaks the horizon, a new sound rising in the depths of your spirit. It is the sound of beginnings, the melody of change. You may not see it yet, but you can feel it, a holy rhythm, signaling that the old cycle has ended, and something entirely new is being born. This sound is not merely an event, it is a divine announcement. Heaven has shifted its psalm over your life, and now the earth must respond. You have endured the silence between seasons, the long pause between promises, but that pause has now given way to purpose. You are standing at the threshold of something new, something sacred. The sound you hear within, the stirring, the restlessness, The sudden spark of hope is the echo of my spirit declaring, "It is time." This new beginning will not look like the endings that preceded it. It will not come through struggle or striving, but through surrender. You will sense the shift in the air, the lightness in your steps, the clarity in your thoughts, the peace that surpasses understanding. Do not mistake it for coincidence. It is divine orchestration. Every sound of movement, every whisper of opportunity, every quiet nudge within you is part of this unfolding symphony. The old song has played its final note. The new one is already rising. You will begin to notice confirmations everywhere, signs that align, doors that open, hearts that respond. I am composing something beautiful from what once felt broken. The sound of a new beginning is not just heard, it is felt, lived, and breathed. It marks the moment when you step not merely into change, but into fulfillment. To listen closely. Don't rush ahead, and don't look back. The melody is forming around you, carrying you into a future designed not by fear, but by my faithfulness. I am calling you closer, not to assign you a task, but to bring you into the quiet chambers of my heart. You have served, you have prayed, you have labored, and yet still, there is a deeper place I want to take you. You have known my works, but now I want you to know my ways. This is not an invitation of obligation. It is one of love. I long to sit with you not because of what you can do for me, but because of who you are to me. You have sought my hand, but I want you to seek my face. When you draw near, the noise of the world fades and what remains is me, pure, steady, unchanging. I do not need your perfection. I desire your presence. I want your honesty, your silence, your laughter, your tears. I want the real you, the one hidden beneath duty and expectation. There, in that stillness, you will remember who you are and whose you are. When you enter this intimacy, everything changes. Worry loses its grip because love casts out fear. Confusion dissipates because clarity lives in my presence. You will find that time slows when you are with me, not because the world stops, but because eternity begins to breathe through your moments. The things that once drained you will no longer control you. Your strength will return, not from striving but from abiding. I will speak to you in whispers that the world cannot hear, revelations too tender for noise. You will find yourself guided by peace instead of pressure, anchored by my nearness instead of circumstance. Do not rush this. The invitation stands open. I am waiting in the stillness, not to test your devotion, but to fill your heart again. Come, and you will see that intimacy is not the end of movement. It is the source of it. From this closeness, every step you take will carry the fragrance of my presence, and everything you touch will bear the mark of my love. Now that your spirit has quieted and your ears have tuned to my voice, I can speak with greater clarity. I am releasing divine instructions, specific, strategic, timely. They will not come through chaos, but through peace. I will guide you step by step, not revealing the whole picture at once, but giving light for each next move. You have waited, prayed, and wondered what to do next. Now I will show you. Some instructions will be simple, small acts of obedience that seem insignificant but carry eternal weight. Others will require courage, to step out, to let go, to trust that I will catch you in the unknown. My direction will come through quiet impressions, confirmations in Scripture, divine alignments, and the still voice that says, "This is the way, walk in it." Do not rush to act without listening, but do not delay when I speak. The timing of obedience is as sacred as the act itself. I am calling you to move differently now, not according to logic, but according to revelation. My instructions will often contradict your understanding, but they will never contradict my word. You will know them by the peace they carry, not the fear they provoke. When I say move, do not hesitate. When I say wait, do not grow restless. The doors I open will require your readiness. The ones I close will protect your destiny. Trust me with both. I am not a distant commander. I am a loving guide, walking with you in every detail. As you follow, you will see that obedience is not sacrifice. It is alignment. You will step into opportunities you could not have created and receive provision you did not pursue. This is not a season of guessing. It is a season of knowing. My instructions will not only lead you forward, they will lead you deeper into the rhythm of my will, where miracles unfold naturally and purpose flows like breath. Listen closely, for my next word may unlock the very door you've been waiting to walk through. You have asked me for confirmation, haven't you? You've whispered, Lord, if this is truly you, show me. I heard that prayer, and now I am answering it. Not through thunder or spectacle, but through gentle signs that carry my unmistakable fingerprint. You will not have to force them or chase them. They will appear naturally, flowing in perfect alignment with my timing. Watch closely, for I am speaking through the small and the simple. I will confirm my word to you in ways that only your heart will recognize, through a verse that leaps from the page, a phrase spoken at just the right moment, an opportunity that opens effortlessly, a peace that settles in the midst of uncertainty. Do not look for chaos to reveal me. Look for peace. My confirmation never comes with confusion or fear. It comes with a deep knowing, a resonance in your spirit that says, this is right. I have not left you guessing. I have left you guided. Every step forward will be accompanied by signs that remind you I am near, orchestrating every detail. Do not discount the quiet evidence I send. I am in the ordinary as much as the miraculous. Sometimes a conversation will carry a truth you needed to hear, or a delay will reveal protection you didn't expect. These are my signs too. I am teaching you to trust me in the subtleties, to see me not just in the splitting of seas, but in the whisper of the wind. You have prayed for confirmation not because you lack faith, but because your spirit longs to stay aligned with mine. That desire pleases me, so I will confirm what I have spoken, again and again, until confidence replaces doubt. You will not have to question if I am speaking, you will simply recognize my voice. The confirmations I send are not rewards, they are reminders of relationship. I do not play hide and seek with your destiny. I reveal it piece by piece, and every sign I send is a thread weaving you deeper into trust. So open your eyes, your heart, your awareness. You will begin to see my hand everywhere, not because I suddenly appeared, but because your spirit finally slowed enough to notice. You may not have seen it, but I have been fighting for you. Even in the moments when you felt surrounded by confusion and opposition, I was standing in the unseen, overturning every plot designed to harm you. The enemy thought he could derail you with disappointment, but I turned it into development. He tried to silence you through pain, but I used the pain to refine your voice. He aimed for your destruction, yet all he managed to do was drive you deeper into destiny. Every attack has backfired, because what the enemy means for evil, I always transform for good. You have endured much, but you have not been defeated. You have been preserved, protected, and positioned. What looked like setbacks were actually setups for the unveiling I am now bringing forth. I have already reversed decisions made against you, dismantled lies spoken over you, and nullified traps laid in secret. You don't have to fight to prove yourself. I have already secured your victory. There will come a moment soon when you will look back and realize that every scheme of darkness served to strengthen your light. The things that intimidated you will now empower you. The doors the enemy tried to close will open wider than before. You will see sudden shifts, unexpected turnarounds that bear my signature alone. I am turning the tables in your favor. The same hands that tried to push you down will have no choice but to watch you rise. And I will get the glory for it all. Do not let fear linger in your thoughts. Fear is the shadow of battles already won. Lift your eyes from the warfare and fix them on the victory. I am not only defending you, I am exalting you in the presence of your enemies. You will see how I used every opposition to display my faithfulness. What once seemed like chaos was, in truth, divine choreography. Every blow that hit you only positioned you closer to promise. The overturning is complete. What once worked against you will now work for you, and the enemy's plans will crumble under the weight of my word. Do you remember the nights when you wept quietly, thinking your tears were wasted? None of them were. I collected each one and planted them as seeds in the soil of your faith. You thought you were losing, but you were sowing. You thought you were breaking, but you were birthing. Every tear, every moment of surrender, every act of obedience when no one was watching, it has all taken root. And now, beloved, the time of reaping has come. What was sown in pain will be harvested in joy. The fields of your life that once looked barren are now trembling with the weight of new growth. You may not see the full harvest yet, but the first signs are already sprouting. The fragrance of fulfillment is in the air. I'm faithful to repay what was given in trust, even when it felt like loss. You will not exit this season empty-handed. You will carry the fruit of faithfulness, the reward of perseverance, the blessing of endurance. This harvest will not be measured merely by material gain, but by transformation. You will see answered prayers, restored relationships, renewed strength, and supernatural joy where sorrow once dwelled. I have not forgotten the sacrifices you made when no one understood. I saw the moments you chose forgiveness over bitterness, worship over worry, faith over fear. Those choices were seeds too, and now they are multiplying. What I am giving you will not just bless you, it will bless generations after you. The harvest I am bringing is abundant because the soil of your heart remained faithful through drought and storm. You will reap not just what you sowed, but more than you sowed, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The waiting has been long, but the harvest will make it worth every tear. And when you stand among the fruit of this season, you will know this truth deeply. Not one tear was wasted, not one prayer unheard, not one moment unseen. The God who watched you sow in sorrow is the same God who now calls you to dance in the joy of your reaping. Can you feel it rising inside you? The subtle warmth that starts where despair once lived. That is joy returning, not the fleeting joy of circumstance, but the deep, unshakable joy of my presence. You have walked through shadows and silence, through seasons where laughter felt foreign and strength felt borrowed. Yet, I have been working beneath the surface, rebuilding you from within. Now, I am pouring out joy like a river, overflowing every place that once held sorrow. This joy is not the denial of pain, it is the redemption of it. It springs from the truth that what tried to break you only brought you closer to me. You will notice it first as peace where there was turmoil, gratitude where there was exhaustion, and confidence where there was fear. This is the renewal of strength, the strength that doesn't roar, but rises quietly, steady and sure, carrying you with grace through what once overwhelmed you. This joy and strength come not from effort, but from exchange. As you release the weight of yesterday, I fill you with the substance of renewal. I am teaching you how to live from joy instead of striving, how to walk in strength that flows from stillness rather than struggle. My joy in you will not fade with circumstances, because it is anchored in eternal truth. You are mine, and I am faithful. You will laugh again, not because life is perfect, but because you've seen my hand turn ashes into beauty. You will stand tall again, not because the battle has ended, but because you've learned that my joy is your armor and your energy. I am filling you to overflow so that your laughter becomes light in dark places, and your resilience becomes a testimony of grace. Every weary part of you will find renewal in this outpouring. You will wake with hope, walk with confidence, and rest with assurance. The same hands that held you in pain now lift you in joy. The strength I give you is not temporary. It is enduring, eternal, rooted in love that will never fail. You have spoken of my glory as though it were distant, as though it belonged only to the heavens. But now, you will see what it means for my glory to rest in you. I did not design you to merely witness my presence. I designed you to carry it. Every trial, every refining moment, every hidden season was preparing you to hold what you could not before. My glory is not just a radiant light. It is the weight of my essence, the fullness of who I am manifesting through you. You will not just talk about transformation. You will embody it. People will look at you and see not perfection, but reflection, the glow of someone who has walked through fire and emerged as gold. My glory in you is not decoration, it is demonstration. It reveals that I dwell among the humble, the yielded, the ones who choose obedience over applause and purity over prominence. When you walk into a room, my presence will precede you. It will not draw attention to you, but to me within you. Every word you speak will carry weight, not because of eloquence, but because of truth. You will find that your very countenance changes as my peace saturates your being. The fears that once limited you will dissolve under the radiance of this revelation. You are not a vessel of emptiness. You are a temple of glory. I have chosen to make my home in you so that the world may see that divinity still walks among humanity. This is why I have called you through the refining fire, not to destroy you, but to polish you until you reflect my image clearly. The revelation of my glory in you will shift atmospheres, heal hearts, and awaken others to their own divine calling. You will no longer say, God is near, for you will know, God is here. My glory will shine from within you, not a distant flame, but a living fire that testifies to my power, my mercy, and my love. It is happening now. What you have long waited for, prayed for, and nearly stopped believing for, it is unfolding before you. The time of preparation has passed, the time of fulfillment has come. Every promise I whispered in the quiet, every word you clung to when hope trembled, every vision you carried when others doubted, it is all aligning into manifestation. You are stepping into the season I have been shaping for years, though it may arrive not as you imagined, but as I intended. I am faithful to complete what I began in you. The seeds you planted through obedience, watered with tears, and guarded with faith are bursting through the soil of your life. Do not be surprised by how quickly it happens once it begins. Fulfillment often feels sudden, but it is built upon years of unseen preparation. This is not a random blessing. It is divine completion. You will know this is the season because peace will mark it. Not striving, not anxiety, but peace that confirms, this is it. You will find yourself walking into opportunities that seem effortless, relationships that feel ordained, and moments that carry the unmistakable weight of destiny. What once required pursuit will now come through alignment. I am not only fulfilling my word to you, I am fulfilling it through you. The promises were never meant to end with your satisfaction, but to expand into your purpose. You are stepping into overflow, where answered prayers become blessings for others. The waiting has refined your heart so that you may receive with humility and steward with wisdom. So lift your head, beloved. The long night is over. The dawn you once only imagined is now breaking before your eyes. What I have promised is not just on the way, It is here. It's finally happening, just as I said it would. Can you feel the stillness settling over you right now? That quiet, sacred pull that seems to reach beyond time itself. That is me calling you deeper. You have reached the threshold of fulfillment, but I am not finished with you, for my promises do not end in completion. They expand into communion. This is the moment when I extend an invitation, not to another assignment, not to another striving, but to closeness, to eternity's rhythm echoing in your spirit. You have tasted victory, but I want to give you something greater, abiding. You have seen my hand move for you. Now I want you to know my heart within you. Every step of this journey, from the waiting to the breaking, from the silence to the unveiling, has led to this one purpose, that you and I would walk as one. I am not calling you merely to finish the race, but to live in unbroken fellowship with me as you run. You have walked through fire, through waiting, through warfare, and through wonder. And in each stage, I was drawing you closer to the center of my heart. Everything I have done in you was never just about the promise. It was about relationship. What I wanted most was not your performance, but your presence. You are my dwelling place, and I long to fill you daily with new revelation of who I am. The invitation I offer is eternal, not measured by moments, but by intimacy. It is the invitation to walk with me not just on mountaintops, but through every ordinary day, every quiet moment, every unseen place. I am not a distant king summoning a servant. I am a father reaching for my child, a creator walking with his creation, a friend who will never leave your side. You no longer need to search for where I am going next, because I am already here, dwelling in the space where your spirit and mine meet. This invitation is not an ending. It is a beginning that never ends. I will keep revealing myself in layers of love and wisdom, showing you that the greatest miracle was never the answered prayer but the relationship forged in the waiting. The promise was simply the path that brought you into my arms. Stay close to me now, not out of fear of losing, but out of joy and belonging. Let me teach you how to live from peace instead of pressure, from abundance instead of anxiety, from oneness instead of striving. You will find that eternity does not begin when life ends. It begins every time you choose to rest in me. This is the secret I awaited to tell you all along. All that you sought, all that you longed for, all that you prayed for was always leading to this, to me, and to you, together. So remain here, in the stillness of my presence, and let this truth settle into your spirit. You are home, and I am here. To Evu. Amen.